Hey guys, I hope you're all doing well and staying cool in this hot weather. A post recently was shared to the Australian dressage discussion page on Facebook that was originally posted by a page called, Friends of Bill Noble. This person seems to be a coach and a trainer based in New Zealand, and he's talking about some potential reasons behind a perceived downtick in interest in competing in dressage in New Zealand, but I think it kind of relates to other countries, whether that's here in Australia or overseas in Britain. I'm not sure what the climate is like in America as well, or in the rest of Europe. But he covers a few different things. The first topic that he covers is the cost. I think we're all feeling the pinch of the economic crisis. The cost of living is high. Certainly here in Australia, from what I've seen, administrative costs are high to have memberships, and then obviously there's fuel, there's camping, there's entry fees, there's stable hire, all of that sort of thing, and it just becomes prohibitive when we've got other things that are expensive just in general day life as well. So there is that, and I think that plays a really big part in it, and just obviously general upkeep of horses is expensive anyway. The second thing that he mentions is some riders feeling discouraged because they might be on horses who are not purpose bred, they might be off the track thoroughbreds, they might be crossbreds, and they don't really feel like they have much of a chance of succeeding in terms of placings when they're up against purpose bred warmbloods. And he asked the question of whether or not there should be some kind of segregation in competition where, it's warmbloods competing against warmbloods and, other maybe not as purpose-bred horses competing within their own realm. The third thing that he mentions is that there are now other options for people to pursue if they're finding that dressage is too competitive, or too expensive, or maybe not friendly enough. So he cites working equitation as an alternative that people are turning to, where they can go and have fun. Maybe the playing field is a little bit more even, and this might be taking away from dressage competitors. Now, I can't really comment too much on that side of things. I can't comment too much on, obviously, the cost of living is something that we all feel, but I can't comment too much on, the administrative side of how competitions are run. I don't have anything to do with it. I'm certainly not in a position to offer any kind of expertise. I wanted to focus on his suggestion that perhaps we needed to segregate classes according to horse quality or horse conformation. And I had to think about that, and I think I can see some merit to that. I think if you're wanting to have like against like, but I guess the way I ultimately feel about it is that if the horse is traveling in a way that is relaxed and harmonious and is working correctly and is feeling okay about the work, then quality shouldn't really come into it as much. So I don't think that there is really a need to have segregation between quality levels of horses in classes. And as a side note, how would we even do that? Would you, before you could compete, have to go and get your horse graded in terms of quality? I think the admin for that would be really high. And I also think it's kind of insulting to owners and horses to have to go through a process like that anyway. We all love our horses and we all think that our horse is the best horse in the world. And it feels a bit off to have to go through a process like that. But what I think could help, and this is not my original idea, I think other people I know other people have thought of it before me, including a good friend of mine, Ross Jacobs, who has written about it on his social media, and also it's come up in discussion when we've been in person. He suggested having a second judging criteria alongside the traditional scoring system, that every single movement has to also be scored on how okay the horse is about performing the movement. So we're looking at things like relaxation and harmony, and the horses, I guess we're sort of looking for negatives in a way, in that we're looking for a lack of tension, we're looking for a lack of anxiety, we're looking for a lack of those physiological indicators of stress like tail swishing and teeth grinding and ear pinning and tension and hollowing in the back and all of that sort of thing. And you might say that we are already grading against those things, but I would beg to differ. If you're looking at the standard of Grand Prix, like world-class competitors out there, and we're seeing horses that, in my opinion, are very plainly in distress, and still winning. So I think that the priorities have kind of gone a little bit astray in goodness knows how many recent years. It could be the last decade, it could be the last 40 years, I don't know. But we're certainly not making that harmony and relaxation and the horse's okayness level a priority when we're doing our scoring. And I think that part of the reason does come down to the fact that we've been able to breed these really fancy horses that move in really impressive ways, and people get blindsided to it. Even judges, even people that are very experienced and have been around horses a long time. So if we add that element of grading where we're really scrutinizing how happy a horse is in its work, to go alongside the biomechanical technical execution of the movement, then I don't really think that there's a need to segregate horses according to their quality or their breeding or any other factor. So what do you guys think? Let me know.